Hello.
Hello. So we are in a new location today. We are in Yorkshire in the Midlands, and we are going to be making a very special doll inspired by the Bronte sisters. So we're going to start by showing you some clips from their house here in Yorkshire.
Haworth parsonage was home to the Brontes from 1820 to 1861. In this house, sisters Charlotte, Emily and Anne gave rein to their imagination and created some of the most unforgettable characters in literature. But when it came to publication, they bowed to convention by hiding their gender and adopting male pseudonyms. As Charlotte explained, "We veiled ourselves under those of Currer, Ellis and Acton Bell. We didn't like to declare ourselves women, as we had the vague impression that authoresses are likely to be looked on with prejudice."
After visiting the house, we then found a pretty spot and started to make the doll. We had brought a Bronte-esque head and limbs with us, so it was just a case of sewing.
That long?
What, body?
Yeah, with seam allowance.
Yeah. That is quite a small body though.
She is quite small though.
Yeah, true, but
Longer legs.
No, that should be fine.
Yeah. Brontes were very small, weren't they?
Well, they
look
were
at their
all very
shoes,
small
yeah.
in those days.
And then arms.
We're not very square legs.
Yeah, it's okay.
Really?
Yeah. It's a wild doll.
Okay.
And we've cut up some of the other fabric into strips to use as stuffing.
She does look sickly.
How long is a doll's arm? How long is a person's arm? That hand sort of reaches your knee, doesn't it?
No, it's like
Above.
above your knee. Nowhere near your knee.
So like
Halfway
there?
up your thigh.
How's that look?
Yeah,
That length.
yeah. She's a bit different to our other dolls, but she's made on the. She's no.
really like her.
Yeah, no, I'm not. No, I'm not saying I don't like her, but I'm just saying she is different because she's made in the wild, as a Bronte doll should be.
She's Kathy.
Yeah,
Kathy was wild and
yeah.
messy, and that's the whole point of the carrot.
I like that she looks a bit.
She's
Kathy's supposed to be ghostly, and the stitches are very visible, and it's a bit messy. But I've sort of leaned into that.
Oh, that's fine.
I quite like her.
You're
She's
not
very
going to see it. She's going to be
primitive.
dressed anyway, isn't she?
Yeah.
So.
I think she's primitive. I like her. She's dainty.
Well, we don't want to make them all the same anyway,
No,
do we?
and she's definitely not.
No. But she's wild.
I
She's
like
wildness.
And her face isn't exactly clean and picturesque, is it?
No.
She's,
And the fact that it's not connected to the body is because we need to find some glue
because
because
she has no neck.
we couldn't make it fixed, so we're going to get
Thought
that
that would
tomorrow.
be enough neck.
No, but it's not.
So we didn't bring Milliput with us.
No. So we're going to buy some glue so she can go on the moors.
One day soon we'll have to make a proper doll.
Does look a bit like a mummy.
Goes on. And you can't make a perfect doll because look at her how different all her
I
limbs
know,
are.
I know.
It would look silly. She is, she has been in the ground. How do I make it even? Is that even?
I mean, maybe we should sort of wrap. Well, when we do her bodice, it's going to wrap around her body, isn't it? So you won't see any of this.
No, it's just for me.
And if you look at any dolls made from that time, they look like this.
Not quite like this.
She looks like Kathy. She's been wandering the moors and she's cold.
Bits falling off.
It's falling off.
Are those arms even?
No, one's too long.
Which one?
The one you're just about to sew on. They're a bit higher. Like I just said about bits falling off. Her head fell off.
Her head rolled off.
Her head rolled off.
See, she's a wild doll.
She is a wild doll.
Oh,
It's rolled off again. Oh no.
maybe she doesn't like her body.
Oh, she will. She's going to have amazing clothes. Yes.
Is that even?
No, it's still too long. It's just hard because we don't have a lot of time to do it, do we? Because we are actually on holiday, so she is what she is.
I really like her. I think that might say more about me, but I really like her.
I don't dislike her. I'm just slightly different to all our other dolls. But like I say, we don't want to keep making the same doll. They all have their own personalities. This is how she has come together, and that, so be it. We're not about perfection, are we?
Although it would be nice to
Make a proper one.
we'll make a proper perfect doll.
Maybe.
I love it.
No, she's brilliant. It's almost like she's a Kathy Ghost doll.
She's not going to look like a ghost once
She's got a big brown scar on her face.
she's got her clothes on.
We'll see what people think. As a little aside, that is a very cool piece of wood. That looks like a crow's head or something, maybe? What do you think? You're not going to look.
Oh, anteater.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, lovely. So what are we doing then?
I'm filming this piece of wood.
So we've got this scrap of fabric, which was an old skirt that already has a lovely seam. So that long a petticoat.
Yeah. I think it actually works that her hem does that.
Yeah.
She looks even more ghostly now.
Well, it's me, it's Cat B. I've come home. I'm so cold. Let me in at your window. She is a ghost.
Pale.
Heathcliff is haunted by her ghost.
At the house, there was a special exhibition on about dresses that the Brontes wore. And we got inspired and changed our plan and decided that we were going to try and recreate one of their dresses, one which still had a sleeve remaining. We decided that we would do this by going to collect some heather, which is famous in Yorkshire of the moors, and try our hand at some natural dyeing for the first time, because according to research, heather dyes things yellow. So we went, found some heather and collected some. So the fabric is dyed. It's a little bit patchy and not yellow, but we didn't have much time, and there is a proper way to do it. You use mordant and all sorts of other things, but it is a different colour. Yeah, it didn't quite go yellow, did it?
No.
Sort of peachy, browny, beigey.
But we can still try and make it look like. And
Yeah,
put
still
the
going to do green
spots.
spots on. Yeah, I think so. I think it will still look better with green spots.
But we talked about.
So this is a feasible reconstruction of Charlotte Bronte's 1850s barège spot dress. And you've seen in the film there was all that survives is the unpicked skirt, one sleeve and the back of the bodice. So we are going to try and make this dress on this tiny scale. And we were hoping, because I'd read that the heather would go this colour, but it's gone this colour. But it's still, this is the colour of heather for the Bronte doll. Let's use the smaller bit for her skirt. And let's try and use the bit that's not this very patchy bit. This bit's good.
Longer, the petticoat t-shirts through. Yeah, perfect.
Like that.
Mm-hmm.
So let me put a pin there. Just check that where I've pinned it is correct. Yep, perfect. Thinking for a sleeve, if we do it like that, and then we put it on her arm, and then we put a gathering stitch, that might work. Okay, let me snip this down here. She has a skirt. Thinking how long is her arm? That long. Let's make it shorter. This is all just experimentation. Pin that to her up here. And then not even remotely straight. Gather gather that around her arm. A small, tiny gathered sleeve that Mum did off camera because
it was stressful.
It's so tiny. But it's coming together. Now I just have to do that again.
Yeah.
So, before we do her bodice, I'm going to do a couple of embroidery French knots as the green spots.
You don't have to do too much on there though, because this stuff is going across, so you don't actually probably need to do anything.
Oh, okay.
Because this is going across.
Yeah, I hadn't thought that.
Yeah, so this has just got to be sewn on her body. You're going to see it at all.
No. Okay, here you go. Thanks. So which bits are going across her body?
I don't know, I haven't figured out what size they are yet.
There is a bodice, 2 sleeves, and now you just need something like that.
That's our Bronte doll. It was all very involved.
Yes.
It's taken a few days across many counties.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the most involved we've ever become for dressing a doll, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. It's the most complicated, and I think it sort of shows. It's a very nice, she looks, in my opinion, she looks good.
She does. It's not quite the same as the original dress, is it?
No.
Crinoline is a bit hard to do on a small scale.
Mm-hmm.
But she'd be good for walking across the moors like that, I think.
She would, yes.
And the heather didn't dye it the yellow that they said it would have been originally, but it did dye. It sort of looked like what it looks like now, which you'll see in the picture when we show the arm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like her. So is she called Heather, Charlotte, Emily, Anne, Bronte?
We should call her
Maybe
Bronte.
she should just be called Bronte. Bronte Lark. It's a very cute name.
She's visiting from Yorkshire.
Yes.
A Yorkshire cousin.
I think she'll probably... Oh,
Have a book.
I think she'll probably be sat in the study/library.
With some books.
Near the bookshelf, I think.
We have some plans for some others, don't we?
We do.
In fact, we filmed
Mm-hmm. Another place in the country where a very famous English
authoress
lived. which is very exciting. And those, we're going to make 2 dolls with that one, but they won't be human heads, if that gives you a clue.
But we've got a few ideas for a few other.
Mm-hmm.
It's turning into another series, isn't it? Famous dolls. Famous dolls inspired by famous people.
Mm-hmm. And I do have a taste for natural dyeing now.
Yeah.
Which I think I'll probably be doing some more on this channel, I think. I like her though. Her face is still a bit... We cleaned it up, but it is part of her history. I could have just painted over it entirely, but...
Well, yeah, she's got one black boot.
She's only got one boot on, yes.
She's lost a shoe.
She's lost a shoe on the moors.
I like her.
I like her too. I think she'll look cute. Unfortunately, there's no room to put her in yet.
Yeah, there's no study yet.
Yeah.
That's the next thing.
Yes, according to the poll, that is what we're making next, which is very exciting. We have a lot of ideas.
Yes.
So this was sort of our 10,000 subscriber special. And we just have to say a massive thank you to everyone that has subscribed and everyone that continues to like and comment. It's very exciting and wonderful. And we have lots of plans for this channel.
Too many plans.
Yes, but we're just so excited, so we're just gonna, see where our ideas take us. So, on a final note, if you have ever watched our mudlarking channel, you will know that there is a wonderful man that lives in Yorkshire called Mr. Tom Burley, who has an incredible reading voice. So, and we met up with him in Yorkshire, so that will be coming out soon on our other channel. And he has very kindly read an excerpt from Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre. So we will leave you with that. There is a link to Tom Burley's channel down below. We hope you have a wonderful rest of the week, and we will see you soon. Bye.
There was no possibility of taking a walk that day. We had been wandering, indeed, in the leafless shrubbery an hour in the morning, but since dinner, Miss Reed, when there was no company, dined early. The cold winter wind had brought with it clouds so sombre and a rain so penetrating that further outdoor exercise was now out of the question. I was glad of it. I never liked long walks, especially on chilly afternoons. Dreadful to me was the coming home in the raw twilight with nipped fingers and toes and a heart saddened by the chidings of Bessie the nurse, and humbled by the consciousness of my physical inferiority to Eliza, John and Georgiana Reed. The said Eliza, John and Georgiana were now clustered around their mamma in the drawing-room. She lay reclined on a sofa by the fireside, and with her darlings about her, for the time neither quarrelling nor crying, looked perfectly happy. Me she had dispensed from joining the group, saying she regretted to be under the necessity of keeping me at a distance, but that until she heard from Bessie and could discover by her own observation that I was endeavouring in good earnest to acquire a more sociable and childlike disposition, a more attractive and sprightly manner, something lighter, frankly, more natural as it were, she really must exclude me from privileges intended only for contented, happy little children. "What does Bessie say I have done?" I asked. "Jane, I don't like cavillers or questioners. Besides, there is something truly forbidding in a child taking up her elders in that manner. Be seated somewhere, and until you can speak pleasantly, remain silent." A small breakfast room adjoined the drawing-room. I slipped in there. It contained a bookcase. I soon possessed myself of a volume, taking care that it should be one stored with pictures. I mounted into the window seat, gathering up my feet. I sat cross-legged like a Turk, and having drawn the red marine curtain nearly close, I was shrined in double retirement. Folds of scarlet drapery shut in my view to the right hand. To the left were the clear panes of glass, protecting but not separating me from the drear November day. At intervals, while turning over the leaves of my book, I studied the aspect of that winter afternoon. Afar it offered a pale blank of mist and cloud, near a scene of wet lawn and storm-beat shrub, with ceaseless rain sweeping away wildly before a long and lamentable blast.